Welcome to today's episode. In this video, we'll dive deep into the rich and fascinating history of Eritrea, a country that has witnessed centuries of conflict, resilience, and transformation. From ancient times to its struggle for independence, Eritrea's history is filled with moments of struggle, triumph, and hope. Let's explore the story of Eritrea, a nation located in the Horn of Africa, with a history that's been shaped by both external forces and its own people's determination. Eritrea's history stretches back thousands of years. In ancient times, the region was home to several powerful and influential civilizations. One of the earliest and most significant was the Kingdom of DMT, which existed around the 10th century BC. This kingdom was located in what is now modern-day Eritrea and northern Ethiopia. DMT played a major role in trade, and its people were skilled in agriculture, metalworking, and architecture. By the 1st century BCE, the region became part of the Aksumite Empire, one of the great empires of the ancient world. The Aksumites, based in what is now northern Ethiopia and Eritrea, were known for their advanced civilization, including the development of a written script, impressive architecture, and trade networks that reached as far as India and Byzantium. The Aksumites also adopted Christianity around the 4th century, making the Horn of Africa one of the earliest regions in the world to do so. However, by the 7th century, the Aksumite Empire declined due to a combination of internal strife and external threats. After the fall of Aksum, Eritrea, like much of the Horn of Africa, saw various shifts in power. The region became part of the medieval Ethiopian Empire, but it was also influenced by neighboring states and external forces. In the 15th century, the rise of Islamic sultanates like the Ottoman Sultanate marked a shift in the region's political landscape. The Ottoman Sultanate, based in modern-day Somalia and Eritrea, frequently clashed with the Christian Ethiopian Empire in a series of bloody conflicts known as the Ottoman-Ethiopian Wars. Eritrea, located between these two powerful civilizations, became a crucial point of control, with the coastal cities thriving as trading hubs, while the highlands were contested by various forces. The interactions between these cultures during this period were critical in shaping Eritrea's identity, with both Islamic and Christian communities influencing the region. The late 19th century marked a major turning point in Eritrea's history when European colonial powers began to carve up Africa. In the 1880s, Italy, seeking to expand its empire, turned its eyes toward Eritrea, officially declaring it a colony in 1890. The Italian colonial period would last for over half a century, drastically altering Eritrea's landscape and people. Italy's rule in Eritrea is a complex chapter, with some historians pointing to the development of modern infrastructure like railways, schools, and ports. However, the Italians also imposed harsh rule, exploiting the local population and utilizing Eritrea as a base for further expansion in the Horn of Africa. Resistance movements began to emerge, though Italy maintained control until World War II. During World War II, the situation in Eritrea dramatically shifted. In 1941, following Italy's defeat in the war, British forces took control of Eritrea. Under British administration, Eritrea was placed under military rule, and its fate became more uncertain. The British dismantled some industries and considered various options for Eritrea's future, including making it part of Ethiopia or granting it independence. While the British brought some degree of development, tensions began to rise, particularly with the growing desire among Eritreans for self-rule. Eritrea was colonized or controlled by 5 main powers throughout its history. Ottoman Empire, 1557 to 1865. The Ottomans established control over parts of coastal Eritrea, including the port city of Massawa, using it as a strategic base for trade and military operations in the Red Sea region. Their rule was indirect, relying on local rulers and governors. Egyptian rule, 1865 to 1885. Egypt took over the Ottoman territories in Eritrea and expanded its influence inland. The Egyptians aimed to control trade routes and the Red Sea coast but faced resistance from local communities and eventually withdrew. Italy, 1890 to 1941. Italy officially declared Eritrea a colony in 1890 and developed its infrastructure, economy, and cities, such as Asmara. However, Italian rule was exploitative, and Eritreans faced discrimination and forced labor. British administration, 1941 to 1952. After defeating Italy in World War II, Britain governed Eritrea as a protectorate. The British dismantled some industries and left Eritrea's future undecided, leading to growing political tensions. Ethiopian annexation, 1952 to 1991. Eritrea was federated with Ethiopia in 1952 but was fully annexed in 1962, sparking a 30-year armed struggle for independence. Eritrea finally gained independence in 1991 after the fall of Ethiopia's military regime. In 1952, the United Nations brokered a federation between Eritrea and Ethiopia, despite opposition from Eritrean nationalists. Under the federation, Eritrea was granted an autonomous government, but over time, Ethiopia began to erode that autonomy, leading to growing resentment. By 1962, Ethiopia, under Emperor Haile Selassie, formally annexed Eritrea, making it part of Ethiopia and denying Eritreans their political independence. This sparked the beginning of a long and brutal struggle for independence. The Eritrean War of Independence officially began in 1961, with various groups, most notably the Eritrean Liberation Front, ELF, and later the Eritrean People's Liberation Front, EPLF, taking up arms against Ethiopian forces. The conflict lasted for 30 years, marked by fierce fighting, hardship, and sacrifice. Eritrean resistance was not only military but also cultural, with Eritreans preserving their unique identity, language, and traditions in the face of Ethiopia's attempts to assimilate them. After decades of resistance, the tide finally turned in the 1990s. The EPLF, after years of guerrilla warfare and building support among the people, launched a decisive military campaign. In 1991, Ethiopian forces were defeated, and Eritrean fighters entered the capital, Asmara, marking the end of Ethiopian rule. Eritrea declared its independence in 1993 after a UN-supervised referendum where 99.8% of voters supported independence. On May 24, 1993, Eritrea officially became a sovereign state. The road to independence had been long and hard, but the Eritrean people's determination and sacrifice had finally borne fruit. Eritrea's journey from ancient civilizations to its struggle for independence is a testament to the resilience and perseverance of its people. Today, Eritrea is a young nation, continuing to navigate its place in the world. Its history is filled with pride, sacrifice, and hope, and it remains a country of great significance in the Horn of Africa. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the history of nations around the world. See you in the next episode.